Welcome to the 2021-22 Heart of America Athletic Conference Women's Basketball Media Day. I'm your host, Stephen Davis. Right now, we're joined by the new head Missouri Valley women's basketball coach, Ben Lister. Coach Lister, thanks for taking some time with us. How are you doing today?
Doing well. Appreciate it. So thank you for having me on, and looking forward to talking about my team for a little bit.
Absolutely. You're entering, as we said, year one with the Vikings, but you've had a lot of success in the Heart. You're the former head coach at Baker. How excited are you to get started at Valley and get going with a season in your new job?
I'll tell you what, it's been a lot of fun. Obviously, for me to just get back on the sidelines after a couple of years off, that energy is there, and the excitement for what I do. So I've really enjoyed just being in the gym again and working with the players, having an opportunity to do what I love, and hopefully get Missouri Valley going the direction that we want it to go.
I think every coach loves the preseason, loves the practices and getting into the grind that way. How does your squad look so far through those early season practices?
Yeah, to be honest, this team is probably the least experienced team I think I've ever coached. We really do not bring anybody back that had a ton of significant minutes last year. So that's been a challenge for me. We've got 11 reclassified and true freshmen that'll be on the varsity this year. So very young and inexperienced, but very impressionable. So it's been a good mix of, understanding we've got a lot to figure out as a group, and a lot to really try to understand and put in as far as what we want to do to have success. But we also have a very, very coachable group that is learning each other and learning a new system. So it's a good thing to have young players in a transition sometimes, and it's also it can be a challenge at times for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, you head west to the McPherson Classic to get things started. Then you're home for 3 non-conference games. What are you hoping to see from this young squad as the lights come on for real and you get some fans back in the stands and you get that smell of popcorn out there once they throw the ball in the air and it's live game action and you're playing somebody new?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward, obviously, to the challenge of our early schedule. Bethel, we start off with, made the national tournament last year. But for us, it's really just about everyday progress. I think we've got some good young players. I think a couple of the returners that we have will step up into bigger roles and have the capability of being good players in our league. But we're still trying to find our identity as a team. And I think those first few games, I would expect growing pains. I think most programs do early on, but just given our youth and where we're at as a program, that might be a little bit more than some other programs initially. But I have a lot of confidence in the kind of players that we have. I think they fit well with what we want to do. We have some growing up to do as a team, and those first few games are going to be a good barometer for us to kind of see where we're at and what we need to do to continue to move forward and really build a program that wants to be an elite level program.
You mentioned youth and inexperience. Who are a couple of veterans maybe who are going to see some time for you and be leaders, folks who have been on that floor before and been through some collegiate battles?
Yeah, I mean, I think a couple kids that had some experience last year, in particular, Irene Madrid. She's a guard for us that is pretty multidimensional as far as what she can do on the floor. She's really stepped up and done some good things in practice, and I think she's got a chance to really take another step forward this year. I think she fits well again with what we do in our offensive system. And then Arroyo, our 6'3" girl from Spain, she's a young player and really learning how to play in the United States. It has been a transition for her, but every day I see a little bit out of her that I can tell she's making progress and starting to understand what we need her to do for us to be successful, not just what she used to do for herself to be successful. So taking that next step. But I think both those girls have a chance to make some progress this year, and looking forward to seeing how they progress throughout the season.
You mentioned double-digit numbers of freshmen or true freshmen classified on your roster. Who are some of those youngsters that are going to contribute for you and play significant minutes this season?
It's a great question. I'm still trying to figure that out every day in practice. For as young as we are, it is a day-to-day thing to see one player step up and do well. And then the next day they might struggle a little bit. So there's not a lot of separation in that group. Maybe a couple kids that I think have done a nice job. Benedetti Paracci out of Italy is a 6-foot kid that can do multiple things on the floor. I've really been impressed with her skill set, and she's been impressive at times. The rest of them, Brooklyn Luna has done a nice job. Amanda Zapinski and Giovanna Moore from the Kansas City area have both shown some flashes. So I would say all of them have impressed me at times, and at times, obviously shown their youth. But I think as a group, if they stay together collectively, they've got a chance to, like I said, down the road, really be a good group.
With the young team and inexperienced team that you have, what kind of realistic goals can you set for this season?
Yeah, I kind of looked at returners in our league, to be honest, and I think we probably have the fewest amongst any. Our leading returning scorer averaged 5 points a game. I kind of expected us to be picked where we got picked, and realistically, the expectations for this group, like I said, are to continue to learn how to win, learn how to play together, take those strides as a group, and be competitive every night. I spoke to them just, we're going to make sure that when we play, the teams are going to have to play well to beat us, that we want to be a program that consistently brings it night in and night out. And when you do that, we'll see where the chips fall from there. But I think they're a group that's got a lot of potential. I'm not going to put any type of expectations on them at this point. They've got a new coach. We're in a new system, and we've got a ton of new players. So we're going to all be growing together this year and see what we can accomplish as a group.
You mentioned that system that you want to get in on both offense and defense. What are some of your key basketball philosophies that you want to get instilled? And has anything changed since you last coached with a couple years off?
We got to have a few secrets. I mean,
yeah. Don't give away everything.
So, I don't think you change something that you felt like you had success with. Obviously maybe a few tweaks, in my time off, but, we'll be consistent with what we did well in the past. Coach Knox and myself as a staff have a lot of experience together. And, I think we'll continue to try to implement the things that we feel like we can coach well, and build off of what we know as coaches. So I don't know that you'll see a lot of differences. I think, kind of what we did in the past worked for us. So we'll probably stick with it until it doesn't. But I'm looking forward to just seeing how these players develop in it. Our offense is a little difficult to learn because it's a lot of reading, and making decisions on their own, not as so much me making decisions for them on the sidelines. When you have a young team, it's hard to play through those early mistakes that we might see, but I think eventually they'll get it and we'll be in okay shape.
And with your experience in the conference, before we let you go, can you just give us an overall overview for folks of how tough this league is and how difficult it is to win games in this conference?
Yeah, absolutely. And I kept an eye on the heart, even when I wasn't coaching. The league continues to grow and develop, and, success from other programs that, kind of were on the cusp when I left. Clark and Grandview, some of those programs, William Penn, have really taken off and done well. It's just a very deep league. There's very good coaches in this league. There's a lot of talent in this league. If you're not a consistent program, if your team's not consistent night in and night out, you're going to have a hard time having success in our conference, because you really just don't have, games that you circle on your calendar that you think are going to be W's for your program. If you don't show up, you got a very good chance of getting beat. So that's something our girls are going to have to learn, and hopefully they don't have to learn the hard way, but you never know. But I have tremendous respect for the coaches in this league and the type of talent there is. I think it's as good as any in our NAIA level. And, I'm just looking forward to getting back at it and challenging myself and my team to go out and compete against a lot of very, very good teams and see where we stack up.
Coach Lister, thanks for the time. Good luck in your first season, and thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Stephen. I appreciate it.